Ever wish you could take your 4x4 off-road in Zion National Park? Well, today on At Your Leisure, we're getting as close as humanly possible to do just that. I'm Ria Rossi Booth.
And I'm Chad Booth. Follow us on a journey through sand and water that is helping to keep public lands open. From there, Stephen Human goes into the dark at one destination that delves deep.
Finally, Darren Kinder takes out one machine that is the best of both worlds. How does it perform on land and water? Find out on At Your Leisure.
So far, no scratches. All is well. We better get out and chat.
Let's look quickly.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to At Your Leisure today. I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Ria Rossi Booth, the co-pilot.
Yes, you are. How are you doing?
Great. This is gorgeous up here.
This is. We are out with the Utah Four-Wheel Drive Association today at their Winter Jeep Jamboree, and we are with a whole bunch of people you can hear in the background, and we are making our way up.
It's called Barracks Trail. And
Yep.
we're in between like Hurricane, Utah and Canal, kind of stuck right in the middle.
Right. We've been going right along the border of Zion's National Park, and really, if you look at the terrain around us, it's like we're in Zion's National Park, but this is a legal Jeep trail and not too hard.
Oh my gosh. I would say on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the hardest, we're at about a 2. But
Right.
the scenery is like a 10.
10, that's right.
It's
That's
so
exactly
gorgeous.
exactly what I say. But rather than us sit here and tell you how fun this trail is and what the Jeeping is like here, let's show you.
Well, this is the Winter 4x4 Jamboree, and what we're doing down here today is we're raising funds to help the fight to save Sand Hollow. They're working with the BLM and some other organizations down here, trying to find an alternative to a land swap that the off-road community doesn't feel is really right and a good fit for this area. We had trail rides today and getting people out in the area and seeing all the different trails that are available down here. There's a lot of wonderful trail from Milt's Mile, Plan B, Barrack. I mean, this whole area down here is just a wonderful area to four-wheel in and off-road.
Ria's actually doing a pretty good job driving right now. Of course, we're about to take air and have a little earthquake. You all right, everybody? Keep going, just like that. Just get a little speed, up.
Not that much speed.
Okay. No, not too
No,
far,
no,
honey.
not too
Stay
far.
out, stay out. After you forded a stream and you're driving down the nice sandy road, do not stick your hand outside because the tire is still spitting all kinds of mud out.
Barrack is one of my favorite over toward Kanab. The whole Sand Hollow and Sand Mountain area is an absolute wonderful area to play in. I've been playing down here for over 10 years. The experience of seeing somebody come back in off the trail after they've had a good time, seeing scenery and views they've never done before, going over obstacles they thought maybe they could or couldn't make, and when they make it the first time, it just lights up their smile. I mean, they just get all giddy.
This is amazing. See what we mean? And we're not even halfway through the trip yet.
That's right. Pictures do tell it better. I think actually we're not even quite halfway through the trip because when we started they said 20 water crossings, and as I counted, this is number 6.
This is number 6.
So we got a ways to go.
Oh, I thought we had 10. We have 20?
We have 20.
Oh, yeah.
So
All right, well, we'll see you later.
we're going to keep moving right now, but we promise you, if there's anything really intriguing or unique or scary that happens, we'll bring it to you.
Well, Chad, I can pretty much cover all of those bases right now, from unique to scary. I'm Stephen Human, and today on our travel adventure, I'm delving deep into the earth at one southern destination that will keep you in the dark.
Along Route 66 in the lonely deserts of Arizona, the surface of the earth looks pretty much like it does for hundreds of miles in every direction, dotted with the occasional road sign pointing to somewhere else. The only truly striking feature is a hole in the ground that opens to a wonderland of exploration and history, the Grand Canyon Caverns.
Grand Canyon Caverns, obviously our main attraction is the underground caverns. They're 21 stories below ground. Most people that come here come to go on a tour. The caverns is a dry cavern, but it's also considered a dead cavern, meaning there's no bats, bugs, snakes, anything like that. But we have numerous things to do, from a motel to an RV park, different activities going on throughout the year.
This is privately owned property. After they finished building the Hoover Dam in 1935, this sent the leftover supplies they had here. So in 1936, Walter Peck had the suspension bridge built. It leads to a series of staircases, 3 15-foot ladders, and back to the surface. That is the natural entrance.
Walter Peck was the original owner of the caverns and would bring people on tours for 25 cents with the promise of seeing the remains of cavemen. Now, while the remains weren't actually Paleolithic hunters, but rather recent white settlers, other fossils proved much more ancient and incredibly interesting to scientists. Since this is a very rare dry cave, conditions are perfect for mummification. I decided to explore along with my guide Zach and discover some very interesting aspects of this dark world.
All right, so this is Bob. Bob is our mummified bobcat. He fell down here around 1850. He broke his hip, and as he scurried around trying to find a way out of the caverns, he stirred up a bunch of limestone dust. He was breathing in the limestone dust, and it basically turned his lungs into rocks, and Bob perished down here. Being there's no bacteria or no organisms to help decompose his body, Bob is perfectly mummified. So this formation we see here we call Snowball Palace. I'm sure I don't have to explain why, but I'm going to anyway. It looks like snowballs. I have little kids ask me all the time, how come the skeleton's down there? We lost them down here, we couldn't find them, you know.
And some of the skeletons are older and much larger than others, like this 15-foot tall sloth whom they named Gertie.
Poor Gertie fell through a natural entrance right above us 11 to 12,000 years ago, fractured her back, and just like any of us, she tried to climb out of here the way she came in. When she did this, she left her claw marks on the wall for us to see today.
All of the features and history are incredibly intriguing. The caves actually reach 60 miles all the way to the Grand Canyon. They've never been fully explored, and the only reason they know their eventual terminus point is through smoke tests they ran decades ago. The smoke disappeared into the caves and popped out 2 weeks later in the Grand Canyon. Now they even have a sort of bomb shelter supply room here where people can store survival gear in case of a natural disaster. But what really sets these caverns apart are the rather unique accommodations.
For $800 a night, you can stay down 210 feet below the surface. You are given a personal attendant. It sleeps up to, I'm going to say 6 comfortably. We've had as many as 8 to 10 people down there. It is unlike any other experience. It's completely quiet, so you're very comfortable. And then some people have actually experienced some paranormal activity down there as well.
So you can explore the cave or sleep in them if you really want the full experience. They also have a full RV park if you'd prefer to sleep above ground, and of course a hotel as well. Tours are offered daily, and it's an easy and safe way to introduce the kids to the interiors of the Earth.
I think it's just something everyone should experience at least once in their life.
The Grand Canyon Caverns are located right off historic Route 66, about 40 minutes east of Kingman, Arizona. It's really easy to find. Now, they offer other adventures other than just the cave tour that I'm on right now. They actually do a whole bunch of outdoor adventures, and you can find out more about those at gccaverns.com. Well, I'm Stephen Heumann. We need to take a commercial break, but when we come back, Darren Kinder will be taking out an ATV and personal watercraft in one. We'll have all the details.
It's all new from the ground up. New rack system, new LED headlights and taillights, new chassis, and new improved ergonomics. Introducing the all-new Arctic Cat ATVs. Filthy, clean, fun.
There is a whole world of beauty to discover on the banks of Green River State Park. Rest under a canopy of cottonwood trees or accept the challenge of a 9-hole golf course on the banks of the Green River. The park is a starting point for boaters adventuring through labyrinth and stillwater canyons, all the way to the confluence of the mighty Colorado. This section of the river is rated for beginners and intermediate boaters and takes you through beautiful desert and canyon scenery. Annual park events include the 184-mile Friendship Cruise and Melon Days, Green River's signature fall festival. Our 9-hole golf course is right on the banks of the river, and it's only $10 to play around. Green River State Park is located right off of Main Street in Green River on Green River Boulevard. Utah State Parks, adventures for everyone.
A powder day in the trees. A morning of crisp air and blue skies. A winter destination in your own backyard. Tooele County is all of them in one. It's time to experience a new adventure you never knew you were missing. It's time to find out what's just over the mountain. Tooele County, Utah. The Wasatch Front is your home. Tooele is your backyard.
Well, welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm Darren Kinder, and I bet you're asking, why am I wearing my helmet? Can you say James Bond? Well, I've got the machine for you. This is the new Gibbs Quadski, and this thing converts from a watercraft to an ATV with just a flip of a switch, and in about 2 or 3 seconds, this thing drops down the wheels, and you can easily go from out playing in the water to go playing on your favorite beach without any problem.
That's so unique, being an ATV and a watercraft. And it's great. We have beautiful reservoirs around here. It'd be nice to be able to pull behind your camper and come to the lake to be able to hit on the nice ATV trails here to drive on them and go right into the water when it's a little warmer.
The Gibbs Quadski basically is an independent front suspension on it, and what will happen is when you go to hit the water, you can engage these wheels and they'll actually suck back up into these fenders. So even though it's in ATV mode right now and we're out playing on the sand, the minute we want to go hit the water, we'll suck those tires up and it'll change the propulsion and give all the power to the jet drive, and away the thing will go.
Great feeling is when you're coming down the boat ramp and you just pull right into the water, wheels fold up and you get all the stairs and everything, then you just take off with all the other personal watercraft. And then this thing is also on the way back in to shore. You retract, you drop the wheels down, rear tires engaged, jet pump pushes you up the boat ramp, and it's just nice and smooth.
The nice thing about having this extra wide machine is that if you want to do some fishing, you need to get on and off the boat, it's very easy because it isn't very tippy. The other thing is the water line is only right about here, so it's very easy to push yourself up onto the boat and get in. There's grab handles back here to make it very easy to get on. Also, it has a reverse, just like most watercraft, that you just deploy the rear bucket on it, and then that will get you into your reverse mode. Now the Gibbs Quadski actually has 2 different cooling systems on it. One, it sucks up water when it's in the water, and it runs it through a closed cooling system, and it also has a large radiator on the front of it, so it's fine on the ground, running around with its radiator, but once you hit the water, it'll start sucking up cold water, and that'll cool it as well. On the front here, you can see it has a AA arm front suspension on it, independent front suspension with Fox ride shocks, so it gives it a really good ride. And you can notice how big these fenders are. It's so that these wheels can suck up inside it. When the machine goes into watercraft mode, you suck those wheels upside and they quit spinning, and then it gives you a nice clean ride. Now back here in the back, we have an independent rear suspension with the Fox ride shock. And again, these wheels suck up into the fenders when you deploy it into the water, and that will keep the tires from spinning and then take all your power and put it down to your jet nozzle.
Just a very, very comfortable ride. It's wide, has great spray protection. You won't get wet. You can actually go transition and drive around without getting wet.
Up here you have a storage bay that you can put your life jackets or different things like that in there. It also comes standard with a fire extinguisher. You also have a storage compartment here, and then this machine is equipped with a street legal kit, so you have blinkers, flag holders, and a few other extra items on it to make it street legal. Well, if you'd like to check out one of these Quadskis, get up to Weller's brand new facility up in Camas. They'll be glad to show you all the cool things that this machine has to offer. It really is a unique product. Well, I'm Darren Kinder. We'll see you next time.
You climb. We invent. You carve. We refine. You side hill steeper mountains. We develop more responsive technology. You never stop. We never stop. The 2015 Ski-Doo Summit.
You go through the day-to-day repeating what you did yesterday. Don't you wish you could access that piece of your life that's missing? Find the beauty, serenity, family fun, or anything else that's missing from your life in the Cedar City Bryan Head area. Gain access to your adventure, whether it's camping, hiking, the arts, festivals, or just a getaway. Visit cedarcityayl.com for details on all the adventures that you can access in scenic southern Utah.
When you made it through your busy week, it's time to rest and unwind. There's one thing that we can all agree, a getaway works every time. You're headed to the country. Enjoy the comforts of your city living at Ray City RV.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. We're at the 4x4 Jeep Jamboree out here in the beautiful St. George area.
Actually, we're closer right now. We're just outside of Mount Carmel. We've made our way through the Virgin River Gorge or channel, and we've come out right near the Mount Carmel Junction. And we're going to follow this ridge up. The roads are pretty easy now, and it puts us out right on the road to go through Zions Park. So, Ria, we've actually had all these glimpses from outside Zions Park, and then we're going to go drive through the middle of it on our way back.
I'm incredulous. I had no idea we traveled this far. It was so much fun. How do you know?
That's true, but it's been absolutely spectacular scenery.
Spectacular.
We also are only one of several trails that are actually running today in this event. So let's find out a little bit more about why you should go to a Jeep Jamboree and pay the registration fee, and some of the cool places you can see, some of the cool people you can meet.
It brings the people together that really are the people that are accessing the lands that we're trying to protect. And then we've got a way to give our message out other than what we do through our other media.
This is absolutely wonderful. I'm anxious to bring my kids out. They live in California, and this is a trail they'd really love. There's some challenges. It was fun sliding down that dirt coming into this area.
I'd say the commute to work's harder. This is easy. This is fun. It's forcing yourself to go to work is the hard part.
What's your favorite part of this trip?
Yeah, you guys. I gotta suck up,
We're
right?
the favorite part.
So, what'd you do this weekend?
I went down a sand hill, like a hill.
Like, what do you mean a sand hill? How big was it? When you like a sand pile? What are you talking about?
Like a mountain with a road on it, and I went down it.
What do you think of the event today?
Yesterday we went up on another trail, and it was quite technical, and we really enjoyed that. Proved our Jeep is worthy of those trails, even though it's not all decked out and lifted.
This hasn't been too rough. I kind of wanted a little more than this. I'm going to turn around, back up, and go through this about 4 times just to...
You do know there are 20 water crossings yet in front of us today.
Okay, that'll make me happier.
Well, this was the first time on water crossing. That was quite exciting. And coming down looking back up that hill with the dirt and the slides, that was a challenge too.
End of the dirt, back onto the pavement, and back onto pavement pressure.
Is it 42?
42.
Well done.
You bet.
All right, well, we got one more event left with this club.
That's right.
And it's going to be dinner, barbecue dinner. But our way home, we're going to drive through Zions. So I am so excited.
And we'll let you know what's on the menu and give you a sample of the food when we get back. So go grab a fork and a napkin.
I'm Reece Stein at your leisure, and a couple of weeks ago was Super Bowl Sunday, and Marianne and I continued a tradition that goes back at least a dozen years where we make the 7-mile White Rocks Loop hike. Not too many trails where you have to be aware of the locals, but the bison are a big reason the White Rocks Loop Trail is so popular. Antelope Island has been home to several hundred bison since they were first brought here in 1897, and they roam free, sometimes right on the trail.
You can look out here and see bison, and there's pronghorn all over the place. It's a beautiful place to be. I love it out here.
The early risers on this most beautiful Super Bowl Sunday morn are runners like Curtis Thompson, Corey Vigil, and Steve Jeffs.
I'm out here training for an ultra marathon that I'll be doing.
I like to come out early, get done, and I'm also training for an ultra marathon.
I'm training for an upcoming ultra marathon.
Wow, there's a lot of you out here doing that. How far are you going today?
We're going to do about 20 miles today.
Oh, wow.
Marianne and I aren't going 20 miles. 7 or 8 is plenty at our pace. This junction cuts 2 miles off the loop, but we're doing the whole shebang. The trail is easy with gradual slopes. And if you take the short spur to the Beacon Knob overlook, and I strongly recommend it, you'll gain a total of only 700 feet. You might have to make way for one of the island's namesakes, as we did this year. It's a great winter hike with spectacular vistas all along the way. The unique landscape includes few, if any, trees, mostly juniper around water sources. You don't need shade this time of year anyway. There are a few mud holes, very few this year. Oh, we've had our share of hikes on cold, snowy days, like this one on Super Bowl Sunday in 2007. But even then, the hike is doable.
Hi. I think in a dozen years we've had to miss one because of really bad weather. And it is kind of a surprise, but here we are.
We get to share the trail with other hikers, including families. And we make way for horseback riders like Cindy First riding Tesla and Rhonda Clark on Igneous. I asked them to gallop, makes for better pictures.
We are here on Super Bowl Sunday, especially on Super Bowl Sunday, because there's no traffic.
The riders rave about the solitude here. It's less than an hour's drive from Salt Lake, yet you're a million miles from civilization. Just a few songbirds to cheer you on.
It's always good riding out here this time of year. We usually ride up in the mountains, and usually there's snow up there, and you can't get up there this time of year.
There's a $10 entrance fee to Antelope Island, a portion of which goes to the county to maintain the 7-mile causeway. Well, the GPS says we've come 8.4 miles in a little over 4 hours. It's been a great hike, and we can still make it home for kickoff. Reece Stein at your leisure on Antelope Island.
Your own place? Well, I'm Jill Kinder with Exit Realty Plus, and I can help you find your new home. Whether you're a first-time home buyer looking to expand or looking for an investment property, give me a call. So when you're ready, contact me, Jill Kinder, at 801-718-4622 or at jillkinder@gmail.com. Exit Realty Plus, helping you find the home of your dreams.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. Chad and I are just wrapping up our 4x4 Winter Jeep Jamboree out here in southern Utah, and we took an excursion from our excursion.
That's right, we did. On our way back through Zions Park, we got into Rockville, and I said, hey, have you, either of you guys, our producer who's out with us, Tyler or Reece, have you ever been out to Grafton, which is the most complete ghost town probably anywhere in the West? And they said, no, I've never been out there. So we took the little 3-mile detour to come out here.
It was worth the 3 miles off the road out of Zions. But I'll tell you, this is really a famous place, right?
That's true, it is.
They did the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, they filmed that here.
You remember when Paul Newman was riding Catherine Ross around on the bicycle handlebars
My
back and
favorite
forth?
part.
Right here. That's where that was happening. And so there are probably 5 or 6 buildings of the original town left. This was an agricultural community, and they kept getting washed out in the floods every spring by the Virgin River. So they came here in the late 1890s, and the last resident pulled up stakes in 1945, which is why this ghost town is so much intact. You know, preserving and accessing, these are the two things that sometimes seem to be at odds with each other. And we've got to be really careful about this, because while we want to preserve nature, we want to preserve species, we want to preserve history like this, if we cut off the access to it, we fail to accomplish anything. And for those of you who are in motorized recreation right now, you need to be wary, because there are things that have not yet come to the surface that are going to have an impact on you and your ability to access places like this and the trails we've been on today. Because there are several travel management plans that are forced by court litigation to be back under review. You have endangered species like the sage grouse. That in the West could have so much impact on recreational access that most rangelands like we've covered today will be off limits if we aren't careful. Now, right now is the time for you to have your voice heard if you're in motorized recreation. Do not wait. Get involved with your clubs, get involved with your organizations. Do something and comment, participate, find out what's happening, because you'll get blown over like you were 20 years ago when you lost open range riding in several of the trails and roads. I mean, half of what we used to have to ride on in the West is gone. Do you want to lose the other half? Just stay asleep at the switch. Okay, I've made my speech.
Well done. I second that motion.
Okay.
I agree with you 100%, Chad. Now for our AYL sticker winner. Their names are Lisa and Dennis Kowaleski. They put an AYL sticker on their plane, and this was really cool. Check this out. Congratulations, you guys. You just won a big gas grill from Camp Chef. Call 801-947-8888 to claim that prize.
You are so lucky. And you at home right now that are watching are going to be so lucky too, because you get to see what we're doing next week.
Darren and Jill Kinder are exploring a different land of red next week as they discover a trail with something for everyone. Then we'll take a look at one of these. Is that really a motorized unicycle? We'll take one for a spin and find out how it works next week on AYL.
Well, there are a few things that look better than next week's show, but that dinner's got to be one of them. Man, this is really yummy. Got you to where you wanted to be, huh?
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to dig in. Famous last words.
There's something about a day of being out on the trail that makes food taste really good at the end of the day.
And all the people here, it's just so wonderful. The camaraderie is wonderful, and they're all here enjoying this great meal and just great people and great weather.
So remember, follow the Utah Four-Wheel Drive Association. You can find a link to their group from our website. And make sure that you plan to come down and explore the beautiful area of southern Utah by full-size 4x4 next year. Yeah. And remember, between now and the next time we get together, that there is new adventure around every bend, but
you can't experience it if you're sitting on your couch.
That's right. We'll see you next week on At Your Leisure.
That camera falls on my head.
Indeed.
All right. I thought you were supposed to say something.
Hi, I'm Chad Booth from At Your Leisure. I hope you just enjoyed the YouTube video that you just watched. Now, remember, we come up with new videos like this every single week, so you might want to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss a single story that we have out. Now, you can also share us with all of your friends on social media. Here's how to do it right here. And that way, they can have fun too. If you want detailed information, we of course have our website, AYLTV.com, and from there you can find out which television stations we broadcast on, so you never have to spend a day without your fix of family-oriented outdoor recreation adventure. Plus, don't forget we have really cool contests.